talk about the Seattle Mariners. And the over-under for the Seattle Mariners is at 86 and a half games. They won 90 games last year. They made some moves, some changes. They signed some guys for to an extension. Seattle Mariner, John, over-under 86 and a half wins.
Man, they were such a good feel-good story last year. They had Julio Rodriguez, who was just lights out. I mean, he was exciting. Center field. I mean, I don't want to get crazy, but it reminded you of the last time Seattle had a really good center fielder. No, it was exciting. It was fun times in Seattle. They had a
100%.
magical year. Um, I think the team goes obviously as he goes. He has to kind of follow up this campaign. I really like their infield. Um, they've got J.P. Crawford. They got Suarez at third base. They got did they get Wong? I believe
Colton
they
Wong,
did,
yep.
right?
Colton
Yep.
Wong is going to be their second baseman.
Yeah, and Ty France at first. I think they take a step back though, to be honest with you. Not a big step back. I mean, the over-under, we got them at 86.5. I think aside from the Astros, I think everyone else there is a little bit below that 86 mark, kind of feeding off each other. I go under on them. I think they have a little bit of a comeback to earth year. They're still going to be set up very well, in my opinion, for the future. It's not saying that their players are going to stink or anything like that. But I think, teams figure stuff out. They had a little bit of magical run. I think they're in the hunt for the playoffs and they don't quite make it and they fall below that 86. So I go under.
I think Seattle was one of the toughest ones for me
Oh, yeah.
in this division because I feel like everything went right for them last year and they won 90, right? So the expectation or the number is 80 and a half or 86 and a half and they
Yeah.
won 90. So it's very close. I don't know. I flip a coin and it landed on tails. I'm going over. I think Julio Rodriguez is a real deal. I think he can carry that team. The rotation is very good. Another year for Luis Castillo. Obviously, now doesn't have to deal with a contract
Yep.
negotiations on that. They signed him to a long-term deal, so he knows where home is. They got Logan Gilbert another year coming off a good year. That's very good. Robbie Ray, Kirby. They got some good arms. Obviously, they were all healthy. It feels like last year they didn't deal with
Yes.
a lot of injuries, but they did brought Oscar Hernandez from the Blue Jays. I love the fact that they're trying to get better offensively. They did lose obviously a bullpen arm for that, but the lineup might be a little bit deeper. I think one of the key players is going to be Jared Kelenic, which is one of their young guys, and
Man.
he was one of their big prospects. And every time he got called up, he would struggle. And he might be. Some people are calling him kind of like the 4A player, right? Like he's too good for AAA, but just not
Yes.
good enough for the major leagues. And he has to come out and play. And if he does, I think definitely that will go over the 86 and a half. But that's going to be the key. I like the lineup. It's nothing that no Houston Astros lineup, right? There's only one Houston Astros lineup.
Right. What is?
Yeah, but I like that. I like that T.O. Addition there. Their bullpen, Andres Munoz was a stud last year. You get him another year back, probably feels a little bit more comfortable as well. So I'll go over, but it's going to be very close.
It's not an easy one, right? It's not. Because like you said I called it magical, but you kind of hit the nail on the head. Everything went right for them.
Yeah.
So if they hit 90 again, which I know the over under is less than that, but that'd be, terrific for them. Now you're establishing a really good winning culture over there. But they're going to be a fun team to watch. I am excited, or not excited, intrigued, I would say, to see what happens with Jared Kelenic, because he came from the Edwin Diaz trade. He was a big time prospect.
Yeah.
And, right now you look at it, they would love to have Edwin Diaz, right? A lot of teams would. But if he can go ahead and, fulfill his potential, he's another big part, but it would become a really good young outfield for them.
Yeah, and you know what? We talked about spring training games earlier. He went deep twice today. Like, obviously, it's still spring training. You're probably facing some AAA pitchers, but you love to see that, right? Maybe something clicked, and I think Seattle being good is good for baseball. That the fans are special. It's loud, even in a 0-0 game in inning 16th. That safe
A
goal.
little Blue Jays vibe, right? A little Toronto vibe. Yeah. Good fans when it's a fun place.
Yeah, so I think, it'll be good. I think they're going to be battling, some of the other teams in their own division, but I'll end up going with the over.